Hello and welcome to CBN News Brief with me, Abdillahi Hassan. Somaliland's international partners call on the political parties to see through that elections be held in the country mid-next year. This comes contrary to the recent term extension granted to the Houses of Representatives and Elders. In 2 days, the international delegation led by the ambassador Nicholas Berlanga met with the opposition parties and the president. He had clear message to deliver in his second high-level visit to the country in 5 months. Nicholas Berlanga, the European Union envoy to Somalia and the head of the international community delegation to Somaliland, called on the political party to set up a calendar to implement the proposal of the mediation committee. In a brief statement on Wednesday evening, Berlanga welcomed the proposal of the mediation committee and commended it as a homegrown solution that sets an example for Somaliland and the wider region. The international community delegation seemed to adopt the proposal of the mediation committee as the way forward through this electoral stalemate. The mediation committee recommended the dismissal of the controversial electoral commission, which was sworn in last month. It further called for reinstating the previous electoral commission, which was not less controversial than its successor. The international delegation aimed at breaking the deadlock over the election delays in Somaliland today met with the Chief Justice of the Supreme Court, which is also the Constitutional Court. The delegation, which is led by European Union envoy to Somalia Nicholas Berlanga, has visited with Chief Justice Aadan Yabaal at his chambers today in the morning. Chief Justice Aadan Yabaal, briefing the press afterwards, said the delegation inquired about the legal aspects of the recommendations of the Independent Mediation Committee on the subject of the Electoral Commission. The Chief Justice said the court does not have any role in the dispute at the moment, but it was a stakeholder in the issue nonetheless. The International Monetary Fund on Wednesday approved a financing package for debt relief for Somalia. In a statement, Ms. Kristalina Georgieva, Managing Director of the International Monetary Fund, said the financing plan includes cash grants from member countries and IMF internal resources. She termed the move as a critical step in helping Somalia advance the process of normalizing relations with the international community and make progress towards achieving debt relief under the heavily indebted poor country initiative. A step unlocking debt relief could come as soon as members provide the necessary financial commitments, assuming Somalia's government continued its strong reform efforts, she added, without giving a specific date. Somalia's Minister for Finance Abdirahman Duale Beyle has welcomed the move, saying, "We are glad that the IMF mobilized resources to cover their share of Somalia's debt. Somalia is grateful to all partners for their continued support in our journey for debt cancellation. We will march on with economic reforms." Closing a series of consultative meetings across Somalia's federal member states, a senior delegation of representatives from some of the country's international partners Wednesday visited Puntland's capital Garowe in the final stage of their visits to seek stakeholders' views on how key national priorities can be realized next year. Led by the UN envoy to Somalia, James Swan, the delegation was made up of the European Union's Deputy Head of Development to Somalia, Nicole Miller, the African Union Mission in Somalia's Chief Mission Support, Major General Fitsu Duludu, and a representative of the Intergovernmental Authority on Development, Noor Abdi. The delegation met with Puntland's President Saeed Abdullahi Deni and other political and social actors in the state, such as cabinet ministers and civil society representatives. In a press statement by the delegation, the aim of the visit is said to be seeking the views of Puntland authorities and civil society about issues of national importance. The UN Secretary General's Special Representative for Somalia, James Swan, on behalf of the delegation, stated that the Somalia's national priorities for the year 2020 include preparations for one-person, one-vote elections, finalization of the federal constitution, continued progress towards debt relief, and the fight against Al-Shabaab. The international partners also expressed their view that next year has the potential to be a historic one for Somalia if its leaders, institutions, and communities engage in dialogue to agree on the way forward. Somaliland's Ministry of Agriculture has deployed teams to spray locusts that is infested in some parts of the country. This comes 6 months after the infestation has been observed in the country. The ministry today sent 2 teams, each with 4 vehicles, to kill the grasshopper that infested in farms across the country. One team is heading to west of Hargeisa to cover the western parts of the country. The second team is heading east to combat locusts in the eastern regions. The Minister of Agriculture Mumin said, announcing that the teams will work for 3 weeks. The minister added that the spray is made of natural substances and will not cause any harm to the environment, people, and the livestock. The team is 21 men strong and will get the cooperation of governors and ministry offices in the regions and districts. The minister, however, said the expedition is limited to locust infestation on farms. That means the locust combating will not address the far more pressing issue of locusts swarming pastures and depriving animals of much needed fodder. That's our news in brief for this time. Thank you for joining us. I will be back with more news coverage.